Okay, once again, welcome to the Soundview Community Media Podcast. We do a podcast every month, and we talk about various topics that are important to people in the community. And once again, today we have Mr. Craig Gordon on our podcast, and we're going to talk about sugar and sugar as a narcotic. So, we're going to make a connection for everybody out there. He's going to make the connections for us and explain why sugar is actually something that is quite addictive and quite dangerous if you abuse it. So, Craig, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, John. Nice to be here again.
And just tell me how you came up with this idea of sugar as a narcotic.
Well, I had a chance to attend an NA meeting, that's Narcotics Anonymous, and it was kind of a combination meeting and Christmas party. And I'm looking at these people, nice people, all sorts of backgrounds, that are in various stages of recovery, as they call it, in NA. And the amount of sugar they're putting away is unbelievable. And I've been talking about sugar all my life.
Yeah.
But at a Narcotics Anonymous meeting, it's particularly poignant. In other words, they're doing like abhorrent amounts of sugar right in the meeting as recovered adults.
Right. Well, it was a Christmas party, though, right?
It was a Christmas party, I'll give them that, but that doesn't mean that everybody has to have soda,
Yeah.
as I call
Yeah.
it, and everybody has to have extra cake, candies, cookies, ice creams. I mean, you name it, it was there.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking back on my rather lengthy experience with all the addicts and alcoholics and how they usually double or triple their coffee, sugar, and cigarettes, I call sugarettes,
Yeah.
in early recovery or recovery in general.
Yeah.
And so they're substituting their original drugs of choice
Yeah.
for coffee, sugar, and cigarettes, as
Right.
does the people in AA
Right.
and CA
Yeah.
and other groups, 12-step programs. And bless their hearts, but it just doesn't make sense that they're doing that much.
Yeah, well, I think in the beginning of recovery, substituting those things is seen as less harmful than the original
Right.
substance. And then as you gain more sobriety, you get yourself off of those things. You slowly
Well,
or
hopefully.
quickly. Yeah.
Hopefully.
I know people that have smoked for years in recovery, but
Absolutely.
substituting one addiction for another it's addiction. You know?
It lowers your capacity between your ears. It creates any number of mental issues. You mean like hypoglycemia,
Mm-hmm.
which is the first 9 symptoms are exhaustion, depression, irritability, anxiety, nervousness, constant worrying, headaches, insomnia, just for the first 9, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And so each one of those things, like insomnia, for instance, you're not sleeping. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Or headaches. That's a big problem. What do you do for headaches? Well, we're looking for some pain relief.
Right.
And it's usually in the form of a pill or something to try and handle the pain from a headache.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good. And then, the anxiety, the depression, and the irritability. There you have some major psychological issues that, again, make you miserable.
Right.
So while you're dealing with headaches and insomnia, and you've got what seems like manic depression or bipolar situation, or other things, how are you supposed to do the mental Olympics in early recovery? How are you supposed to focus and get things done and accomplish different of your steps, for instance,
Right.
or different levels of starting to become healthy when you crave cookies and sugar and cigarettes and so forth.
Yeah, that craving aspect or the part of it is interesting because whether or not it's a hard drug or sugar, what triggers that craving, or why is the craving there? Because both substances release that dopamine.
The dopamine, the endorphins. I believe they also represent a very powerful distraction or vacation from not feeling good. So, and if you're in early recovery and you're hitting the coffee, sugar, cigarettes, and who knows what else food-wise, your body's still pissed, so your brain's not working.
Mm.
It's kind of a little bit of broken brain. And we're trying in early recovery as counselors and people and policymakers to try and improve and augment your situation so that you can do more in early recovery and you can bump your statistics from very poor to very good.
Mm.
But how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you change the numbers? How do you change the odds of you making it, the first 90 days?
Yeah.
And so many people fall off the wagon.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to step back for a second and ask you what exactly is an opioid, and what is an opioid? Is it something in your brain or is it a chemical substance?
It's a chemical substance from the poppy. It's a pain reliever, and used without pain. It's like you go, I feel so good. And, who doesn't want to feel good, but maybe that's not the right way to do it.
Yeah.
And then it's very addictive. And then here comes sugar, which actually likely preceded the drugs and the alcohol.
Sure.
And the sugarettes.
Sure.
So, grandma loves you with sugar. The banks always have lollipops, the sugar, the cake, the candy, the ice cream, everything else. If you're a good boy, good girl, you get a treat.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves you with sugar and treats.
Yeah.
And so there are 2 to 5-year-olds developing cancer, heart disease, and diabetes.
Wow.
At 2 to 5 years old because their parents and grandparents can't give them enough white flour, white rice, and sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they've done studies that, with rats that have shown addiction-like behaviors with sugar.
Absolutely.
So it's like they're doing the tests with cocaine and heroin on rats. They're doing the same tests with sugar.
Mm-hmm. And the
Getting
sugar
similar results.
usually wins out.
Yeah.
It's more popular than heroin and cocaine.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's more addictive. It's more palatable. It's hits different, spots in your brain.
Yeah.
And to your brain and body, it is more popular. It's more comfortable.
Yeah.
And you've got certain connotations or certain things that go on with drugs that sugar's legal. Sugar we've known all our lives since the day we're born, literally even before that, because our parents were usually, back when you were and I age, all our parents were smoking and drinking a little alcohol and smoking cigarettes.
That's right. Yeah.
And our grandparents were doing the same thing.
Right.
They didn't know any better. They thought that was wonderful.
I think cigarettes, during the war,
They were free.
they were free.
To all the
and
military.
A lot of people just, because you're going to go out in the battlefield, you could die any minute. So, cigarettes was a big deal. But the addictive nature of them after the war, it wasn't until the 60s and 70s where they started cutting back on the cigarette commercials on TV and realizing, this is not really...
They had doctors promoting cigarettes.
Right.
They had Old Gold cigarettes, the throat smooth cigarette. It's like, okay. These marketing people had no bounds.
You know how Dentine gum, 3 out of 5 dentists recommend Dentine gum. Well,
Yeah.
it was 3 out of 5 doctors recommend Chesterfield.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Or Camels,
That was pretty
or
funny.
Lucky Strikes,
Yeah,
or whatever it was.
whatever. Yeah,
And then it was the Newports, and then the flavored things,
oh yeah,
and now it's vaping, and I strongly believe vaping is worse for you than cigarettes, and that's not easy.
yeah. I've heard about this
Not
popcorn
better,
lung that people.
worse.
Yeah,
So, and I didn't come to that conclusion easily. It took me 8 or 10 years to say there's just too much of a preponderance of evidence and consensus
yeah,
that all are leaning that way. And, of course, they're still marketing as a way to stop smoking.
right.
And, it's less harmful. And there's no smoke. It's like, oh, we
Right.
can do it. And the kids are doing it in class.
Right.
Everywhere you could possibly imagine, they're vaping.
Well, those vapes, a lot of them contain nicotine.
Oh, they contain all sorts of chemicals.
Yeah,
And then they roast them up with a little battery in there
yeah.
that creates steam from, from the juice, they call it.
Glycol or something like that.
Oh, it's nasty.
yeah.
And then it goes right into your blood faster than a needle, like good old crack, like a cigarette.
So the cigarette dependence is being traded for vaping dependence. This is still a
Vaping,
dependency.
and there's sugar in that.
There's sugar in vaping.
I'm sure there is.
So,
I'm sure there is. They have all these flavors, and flavors are usually made with sugar.
yeah.
So it tastes sweet.
So tell me about the dependency somebody can develop with sugar. So I guess like alcohol, you would have a hangover from a sugar dependency, right? If you abused it to a certain
You
extent.
can. You can get a stupor going on where it's like,
Yeah,
you're just not functioning. It can make you very lazy. It can make you tired.
yeah,
It can make you, not want to do anything. And it's also a taste thing. So we're after that taste, which is a distraction from being uncomfortable.
Mm.
I could say uncomfortable or downright miserable.
yeah. So if there's a dependency, then there's probably a period of withdrawal when you decide to cut down.
There is. And then
Yeah.
you're right back after it. Just like the people that don't drink their morning cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
At 11 o'clock, they finally get 2 sips of coffee, and their headache is gone.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden, they can function again.
I've had that experience.
It's pretty common.
Yeah.
So back to sugar, I want to read the definition of a narcotic.
Okay.
Get a load of this. Pardon me, folks. What is the definition of a narcotic? A drug or other substance that affects mood or behavior and is consumed for non-medical purposes, especially but not limited to one sold illegally. It's just amazing how well that fits the bill with sugar, or how sugar fits that bill.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally dawned on me, and I've been talking about sugar as a drug and sugar as the dry drunk syndrome and sugar causing addiction for years, but never put the right name on it.
Yeah.
Finally, as the glacier moves, I'm at that NA meeting going, look at all this sugar. And it finally dawned on me, it's a narcotic. It's not just a drug. It's not just a substance.
Right.
It's a narcotic. And then I looked it up. I'm going, oh my God. It's pretty darned amazing.
Yeah. I think, we all agree that like addiction to opioids or whatever, hardcore drugs is pretty damaging. I think with sugar, since there's no official classification as a narcotic, and also the severity of the effects aren't as bad as drugs, and the potency
Well, they're
of
not
sugar
obvious.
Right.
They're not in your face right then and there, but they're
Right.
coming.
Yeah. Well, it is in the same class. It's just not treated the same because there's not that stigma. You
Well,
know,
that and the legal illegal thing.
right,
So, one, you think of a narcotic as heroin or cocaine or, a mind altering substance
right,
that's pretty obvious.
right,
Well, this is a lot less obvious, equally mind altering and mood altering. And people think it's absolutely normal and they deserve it, and that's how they chill. That's how they celebrate life. That's how they have treats with their kids and
right, right.
grandkids. And it goes on and on. But we've been sold a bill of goods
Yeah,
for the last 100 years.
yeah. Well, the health effects of over or sugar abuse. I don't know what term you would use.
Overconsumption.
Overconsumption. Well, the health effects are, obviously diabetes. Is one of the problems. We have a problem regulating our sugar,
Right.
blood sugar.
Well, I call it diabesity.
Okay. So, yeah, well, there is that type 2 diabetes that a lot of people, when they get older, after years of, they can develop type 2 diabetes. But that can also be reversed, can it?
Well, if you're diligent enough and determined and deliberate to eliminate, a vast majority of the sugar out of your diet, and that also
Right.
includes refined carbohydrates,
Yeah.
meaning white flour, wheat flour, white rice, and corn products that basically turn right into sugar, beginning in your mouth with your enzymes in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then 20 minutes later, it's like eating a bowl of sugar.
Yeah.
And so that'll spike your blood sugar, and you will then develop insulin resistance because your insulin won't be working as well because you've so abused it. Then you've exhausted your adrenals,
Yeah.
and your precious and delicate endocrine system and your pancreas are kind of upset with you,
Right.
to put it in layman's terms. It's not functioning anymore.
Yeah.
That, and you develop visceral fat around your internal organs. So that can be literally clogging the pipes.
Yeah.
So your pancreas could be working, but if there's a little bit of visceral fat in the pipeline, that might be messing up. Just like in your kidneys, in your liver, your adrenals, and so forth. And then these things circulate around your body-brain,
Yeah.
because the body-brain is one unit, not two, and they get clogged.
I've heard of some people developing cirrhosis of the liver and never having even taken a drink of alcohol
That's right.
in their life.
There's non-alcoholic fatty liver disease,
Right.
which is more common than houseflies in this country. And that's happening all over the place. There's a ton of hypoglycemia. There's, I don't know if the public knows, but hypoglycemia is low and erratic blood glucose. And then there's insulin resistance, which is also extremely common. Then there's the overall picture with metabolic syndrome, which is kind of pre-diabetes and pre-chronic disease. So that's two or more of the following: sitting still or sedentary, consuming cigarettes and vaping, high triglyceride, high cholesterol, high blood sugar, and one or two more. And if you have two or more of those symptoms, you're looking at chronic disease.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner.
So how about the education system? Is there do they stress physical education these days? Like I remember when I was a kid, we had JFK's presidential
fitness challenge.
Yeah.
I think it was a challenge.
Did they reintroduce that recently?
I don't think so, but hopefully Bobby Kennedy will be on that soon.
Yeah.
He's got so many issues he's trying to contend with.
Well, I think, I think what they need to focus on more is the physical exercise and not the competition. So
Right.
when I was going to school,
Right.
high school, whatnot, there was always a competitive edge to it. So you
Right.
had a lot of kids who did not want to engage in this because it's adversarial. and it's tough for kids who are going through the change and those formative years, So why can't we have schools equipped with just treadmills and stair steppers and things like that, where you don't have to log your time every time. Just get on and walk.
It could be you're exercising in place like they do in schoolyards in Asia. They get out there first thing in the morning, and they're exercising. They're doing calisthenics.
Yeah.
We need to move. We need to stretch. We
Yeah.
need to exercise. We need all kids to be doing that every day.
Right, but there's no
they're stuck on their phones.
We have not
They're
made
like, hello?
that part of what we do. Yeah, the mental part of education has always been there, but the physical part of it, we need exercise to exercise our bodies to have healthy minds.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Because you're introducing oxygen, you're forcing it to your extremities, you're helping clean out your extremities with discarding negative stuff or bad stuff when you pump blood in and out, artery, vein. You're working out your heart, and the oxygen is a big deal. And being out there, getting exercise actually helps you function better mentally.
Absolutely.
And you're calmer, and you can focus better. So, we're getting, hammered by a lot of the Asian kids, seem smarter, but they got K through 12, they got exercise every day.
Yeah.
There's one state in our country, I believe it's either Illinois or Indiana, that requires everyday exercise K through 12.
Really?
One
out of
Hopefully
50.
that's starting to change, but it's going to be a slow process.
Yeah.
And it requires a little segment of time during the school day.
Right.
Where it's prioritized.
Right.
That either everybody does it at the same time, first thing in the morning, in various, K through 12, blah, blah, wherever school they're at, and they actually get out and stretch and move and do 10 push-ups, do 2 pull-ups, do something.
Yeah, do something.
March in place.
Right.
Stretch. Throw your arms around. Do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
I think screen time is something that really interferes with.
Oh God.
Activity time.
It is become so overwhelmingly obvious that it is an addiction, and and the kids are sitting on their either standing there not moving or sitting there not moving. Only thing moving is their thumbs.
Yeah. And there is a dopamine release with screen time too, yeah.
And then, all sorts of things. And then they're also exposed to a lot of negativity on the internet because it's all about sales.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all, and then the bullying between the boys and the girls and blah, 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 and all the little click things that disinclude others. So the others feel left out and things get weirder by the day or the year.
Right.
It's not good. COVID made all the bad stuff double.
Yep.
All the bad statistics doubled during COVID.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
So now we need to get busy and identify what changed and try to move back toward where it was.
Right.
If not better, God forbid.
I think the isolation hurt a lot of people.
Oh, it did.
And, the depression numbers went up, skyrocketed during COVID.
As did the the drugs, all the different psych drugs, all the the psychotherapists are like booked out solid.
Yeah.
Can't get an appointment hardly.
Yeah.
And what are they doing? Various types of talk therapy, and more psych drugs.
Right.
And psych drugs are dangerous.
Oh yeah. Yep. I believe they are overprescribed.
There are some psych drugs that are harder to get off than heroin and cocaine.
And that's the other thing. I mean, it's for a person with depression, it's meant to be a temporary bridge to get
Correct.
you back to normalcy. But a lot of people have been on antidepressants for years.
Well, right on the packaging and all the white sheets that you have to sign off on this is a 12-week thing.
Right.
It's not a 5-year thing.
No.
Or forever thing.
One of the problems is it takes like 4 to 6 weeks for the chemical to start working. Mm-hmm. And
and equally long or longer to get it out of your system, if that was ever the intent or the goal.
Yeah. And I think the patients need to be educated where that's concerned. A lot of, I know in my generation and older, they go to the doctor and do whatever the doctor says, here, take this pill. I don't even know what it is, but I'll take it because the doctor told me to take it.
The sheeple.
Yeah, you need to take an active role in your own health.
You do. That means you have to put out some effort. That means you have to do something different usually. Mm-hmm. It means you have to actually be committed to taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a tall order for too many people.
Yeah.
So right now we've got, people dying like flies our age. They're dying like flies.
I know.
And they don't understand why. I wonder. And they're not taking good care of themselves. They're not getting out every day. They're not getting the proper exercise. They're not getting the proper food. Mm-hmm. Then they're eating a lot of crap and drinking a lot of crap in between. And their bodies have said, that's enough. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya. Too bad.
Yep. I sometimes will look at people I knew back in high school and stuff like that. How many are still around? A friend of mine passed away about a year, maybe a year and a half ago. We were at the tail end of the baby boom generation, and it's like, I thought he was healthy, had a massive heart attack. And
yeah,
you never know. You can be here one day and gone the next. And that's why it's like,
well, in this day and age,
put off till tomorrow. Say, I'll cut back on my sugar after Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll cut back after
Lent.
After Valentine's Day,
Lent.
after Easter.
Yeah. I'm gonna go straight for a month.
Yeah.
And then there's 11 months. It's a free for all.
Going cold turkey is not the answer for somebody who's coming off of an extreme sugar addiction. I think what it is you have to get educated, and then you got to work at it. And if you have cheat day, the cheat days. Well, I started out with one cheat day a month. Now I'm up to 4 cheat days a week. You can't do that. But
it's
that's
a free for all.
Yeah, that's the addictive nature.
Like I got in front of 2 little kids on the beach. 2 little boys. They're probably 8 years old. I said, "Hey guys, we got a new name for soda. We call it soda." And I said, "Say that after me." So one of them goes, "So dumb." I go, "Very good. There you go." And I said, "Okay, your turn." He wouldn't say it. Now, did that little 8-year-old know what a hypocrite was? No. Did he know he was stepping in it if he said soda because he liked soda?
Uh-huh.
He wouldn't say it. So people have their egos get in the way.
Sure.
They have their way, their party, and they do their thing, and they relax, and nobody wants to fuss with that.
Yeah.
And, that could be, 2 pieces of pie. That could be 3 beers. That could be whatever the heck it is.
Yeah.
Smoking a bone, having some, some ice cream, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. But a lot of these things have a very serious impact over time on your body/brain.
Yeah.
And so your capacity is diminished mentally because your body is pissed, to put it very simply. Not happy, malnourished, blood sugar is going up and down like a yo-yo, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So these things are real things that people deal with in their different ways, and they usually deal with them with another insult rather than a compliment to their body, brain.
Yeah.
So
let's shift the conversation a little bit, and you mentioned RFK earlier. So tell us about he's come out with the new food pyramid, and what is your, what's your impression, and what are you?
I'm like beside myself seeing, healthy proteins and vegetables, then some good fats, and some fruit, and less grains.
So the grains have.
And they're picturing whole grains and brown bread with not just whole wheat, but with, whole grains that are not milled and pulverized, bleached, and so forth, but whole grain.
Yeah, because
Real
it has
stuff.
more fiber.
Fiber is a big deal.
Once you process it, all the
Fiber
fiber's
is
gone.
a huge deal.
Yeah, that's the thing about white bread. I mean, it's made from wheat, but all the
It's
husks
garbage.
are removed, and it's just
It's absolute garbage.
Yeah.
All it does is turn right into sugar in your body. And then there's gluten situations. Then there's, various things that they put in there. You don't know what they're putting in there.
What is the gluten situation? Because I was told that you should have a gluten-free diet if you have celiac disease.
Mm-hmm.
But people who don't have that disease, they might have a low tolerance to gluten, but you don't necessarily have to be on a gluten-free diet if you don't have a problem with gluten.
Well, what we all should be doing is having some kind of a nutritionist or learning a lot about it help us rotate in and out of different foods in our diet and keep a food journal so you know what you ate and how you felt. And therefore you can track it. Otherwise, it's water under the dam.
Yeah.
You don't remember, you don't understand, you don't know how much, you don't know in what combination with whatever you had, and people just do whatever they want.
Yeah. I always loved Richard Simmons' Deal a Meal program because you had tons of variety with it, number one, but you could calculate how many calories you were having at every meal based on the simple scale.
Right.
And so it was so easy to track your caloric intake, which is another thing that I see as a problem with, like what you were just saying. If you don't know, if you're not conscious of how much you're consuming, then you're going to overconsume.
Well, there's also quality of calories.
Yes, absolutely.
So that, ice cream and cake and candy cookies are different than fruit.
Yeah.
Do we want to drink juice? Probably not.
Right.
Or if you have juice, you have 5 to or 10 to 1 water to juice.
Right.
Have a splash on top. Give it some flavor.
Yeah.
But we're there to hydrate your body. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's what your body's after is hydration.
Yeah.
Dehydration is a huge issue in this country.
Absolutely.
And it's another form of malnutrition. So all these basic things kind of, if you don't keep track of them, you don't care, you don't understand. These are different stumbling blocks to actually getting where you want to go.
Right.
So that you have some respect for your body and your brain. You're making good decisions. You're not blasting yourself in the foot every other day.
Right.
Going 2 steps forward and 3 back.
Right.
And dying the death of 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan of hydration, and I drink water.
Good.
All through the day because I like to. I like it, but a lot of people don't. I don't like water because there's no flavor to it.
Right.
It's like some people. I don't like rice because there's no flavor to it. It's like, why would that stop you from consuming it?
Well, half of all children are dehydrated. 25% of all children never drink water. And that's a pretty bad start.
Yeah.
And so you think you have to have the flavors and the sugar and the milk or the milk sugar, chocolate milk, strawberry milk. I mean, there was a guy named Jamie Oliver who added up all the sugar in the LA County school system just in the flavored milk, the strawberry and the chocolate milk. And he got a big school bus, an unusually large one, and he filled the entire interior with sugar and blew out the tires because there was so much weight. He probably put 40 tons of sugar. That was from 1 week in LA County just from strawberry and chocolate milk.
Wow.
Because the kids loved it. That's what they
That's what
would
they have at
choose
lunch.
over regular milk.
Yeah.
Regular milk has milk glucose in it or milk sugar. And it's sweet enough, and it's dairy, and it clogs you up, but that's the way it is. You get a little bit of food value there with vitamin D
Yeah.
and so forth. But all that sugar, and then try to learn, basic skills and get an education when your body is pissed off on sugar once again.
Right.
The narcotic it really is. Not cool.
Yeah. Well, anything else? Any other things you want to mention?
Well, in recovery, it's such a big deal to get the sugar out of your system, one way or another, and do this early, not later. The statistics for AA, NA, and CA are not good. It's roughly 1 out of 100 that needs help gets permanently off the liability list. That we need to change. And I think the main reason is poor diet. Poor diet got you into it, and healthy diet can get you out of it. But until you actually go through the motions and you do it consistently without any sabotage, like you can't just have, a big salad and tuna fish for lunch and, eggs and something healthy 12-grain bread for breakfast, and then go smoke 6 cigarettes and drink 3 cups of coffee.
Right. Right.
Light and sweet.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And so we need to jump on health early on in early recovery, and we need to jump on health early on with all kids as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Get them to understand that and educate them about nutrition and so forth. And the adults have to sign in and participate.
Yeah.
They need to be examples. And this includes grandparents.
Yeah. A lot of nowadays a lot of meals are centered around the convenience, I don't have time to cook a meal. I don't have time to prepare a lunch. So I'm just going to go to a fast food joint, or I'm going to eat like one of these prepared meals.
Yeah, like Hot Pockets, like pizza.
Yeah.
I'm going to order in with Uber Eats and all the different types of things you can have delivered right to your house. You don't have to lift a finger.
Yeah. What about these?
And it's expensive.
They have these HelloFresh and these like prepared meals that are supposed to be healthy. Have you ever encountered?
No, I've done those, and those are pretty darn good.
Are they? Okay.
Because you get healthy ingredients, and you have to put them together a little bit and cook them.
Right.
So you learn to cook a little bit more, which is a big deal.
Right.
And then you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You're getting ingredients.
Yeah.
You're getting this and that and this and that. You put it all together and saute it, and then you've got a piece of salmon, a piece of chicken, a piece of steak, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that goes in there next to it, and you got some sauce, and here you go.
I have noticed. I shop at Whole Foods,
Uh-huh.
and I have noticed that lately they've been developing a lot more of these meals ready to eat.
Sure.
Not the military MREs, but these these meals. It's a complete meal. And I don't know if you put it in the microwave or exactly. I mean, I haven't purchased any of them, but I've just noticed that they're popping up now. And you have, a variety of cuisine. There's a Mexican meal, there's an Indian meal, there's, just regular.
Oh, there's all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And it's really convenient.
And
you either nuke it or you dump it in a fry pan.
Yeah.
Throw some butter or olive oil in there, and away you go.
Well, the hot bar that they have at Whole Foods, the thing that impresses me is the food's good, but it's also it tends to be on the healthier side.
Tends to be.
Yeah,
there's still fried chicken. There's mac and cheese.
Yeah, you can get some stuff
which I call, sugar and frankenfat.
Right.
Because the noodles, the elbows, are all carbohydrates.
Yeah.
And then the cheeses, who knows what's in there?
Yeah.
And so it's frankenfat.
Yeah.
It's not good fat. It's not avocado fat or not olive oil fat or fish fat.
Yeah.
Which is good for you, the saturated fats.
Yeah.
So.
What about Trader Joe's? They tend to have some good.
They have a few things that are good, but you have to be a food detective.
Right.
You literally have to read your labels.
Yeah.
You have to know how your body functions on particular things. You have to be aware, cognizant, and make the appropriate decisions to buy the right stuff.
Yeah.
And God forbid you're doing some food prep.
Yeah.
Actual food prep.
Yeah.
I go to Trader Joe's, I get arugula, I get shredded carrots, which is easy.
Yeah.
You pull out one, you pull out another. There's half your salad.
Yeah.
Then I'll cut up a red onion.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll put walnuts, I'll put blueberries, I'll put variety, nuts and some different things. Sometimes some tuna fish, sometimes some fish.
Mm-hmm.
and I'll make a nice salad. And it's easy to make dressings.
Mm-hmm.
Really easy.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of spice, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of balsamic, bit of whatever.
Little
You know,
Dijon
experiment.
mustard.
Mustards, yeah, any of that stuff. It's delicious.
Yeah.
And have a meal that's a big salad.
Yeah. No, we eat salads a lot.
You know, get the phytonutrients out of the green greens.
Yeah. Yeah, veggies
Iceberg is crap.
Yeah.
Iceberg lettuce is just water.
Right.
There's very little nutritive value.
Right.
So get green greens.
Yeah.
Spend an extra $1.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not hard.
Yeah.
You know, have some respect for yourself.
I just draw the line at kale. I can't eat kale.
Well, kale's hard to chew.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily say it's great, but, you know, it's okay.
Have we talked about juicing? Because I'd like to know your opinion about juicing, because there are some really good juice recipes out there that are healthy, like cabbage and parsley and things like that I find.
Well, parsley's really good.
Yeah.
That's phytonutrients.
Yeah.
I like ginger. I like turmeric. I like
So that's the whole turmeric?
proteins. You can get whole turmeric and cut it up and put it in salads. I put it in my scrambled eggs.
Wow.
I put turmeric. I put ginger. I put red onion. I put a variety of things in there, and garlic, fresh garlic,
Mm-hmm.
and all those things are really good for you.
Good for your blood.
Great for you.
Yeah.
And it's not hard. Tastes great, and you're getting some protein with the eggs.
Yeah.
You know, you could throw an egg or two in your salads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fry an egg, throw it on top. Woohoo! It's actually kind of cool.
That's kind of trendy these days, you know.
Yeah.
Having a poke bowl with an egg on it or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, ramen noodles with it.
Yeah, and you go into a restaurant, and they charge you $3 for it.
Yeah.
You know, I went into one restaurant. I want some avocado. It was like a tiny little bit of avocado for $3. I said, I'm never doing that again.
Mm.
It might be a fifth or sixth of an avocado for $3.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's just disrespectful. You know.
Yeah. I like poached eggs.
Poached are good.
I've been doing a lot of poached eggs because there's amazing recipes out there. You could do it in your microwave in a minute.
Yeah.
You could have a couple poached eggs.
And microwave isn't as bad as we think. At least that's what it feels like in my gut. No pun intended.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And at least you're getting some heat. You're cooking it, and it's better than store-bought crap.
Yeah.
Because you buy anything that's prepared, you're paying tax to begin with, and you're not getting the food value, and you're not getting the monetary value.
Yeah.
You're paying a lot to have your eggs cooked for you.
Right.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
It's like I said,
dishes.
convenience.
Do the dishes.
You know, a lot of people are into convenience.
Oh, they
it's
are.
Like, I'm not going to make a cup of coffee because I'm late for work, so I'm going to just stop at Starbucks, you know.
Yeah, $5-6 later.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
I know.
Put it in a jar for a year.
Yeah.
You'd be shocked at how much money it is. You'd be going to Hawaii for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, or a really nice vacation with your Starbucks money.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of things you can do.
Okay. So we're coming towards the end. So to wrap this up again, we're going to circle back to the original premise of that sugar is a narcotic. And what would you like to, tell the home audience, just in general about this, your statement?
I've been studying sugar and addiction for 47 years, every day. And the sugar is the pits.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very deceptive.
Mm-hmm.
It masquerades as your friend. It masquerades as love. It masquerades as something you deserve if you work hard. It masquerades as a treat when you behave yourself. The implications of sugar compared to alcohol, compared to sweets and candies and cookies and cakes and refined carbohydrates And the effect of all that on our brains and bodies is far worse and ubiquitous or all over the place than just alcohol. And alcohol is way worse than all the street drugs combined.
Yeah.
And alcohol is magnified sugar. Wine and beer is fermented sugar. So, we're going into various levels of sugar shock when we drink, like the kids eating the sugar at a little party, and they're like just about throwing chairs at one another. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
They're bouncing off the walls, running around like little screaming Comanches.
Wow. I've seen my grandkids react.
It's amazing.
From that, yeah.
And that's amazing. Just like sugar drunk behavior by kids.
Yeah.
So, all these things that are learned behavior and normal reactions in an abnormal or perverted way, we think are normal, and we permit the kids to eat it, and then, here's $5, don't get in trouble. And what do? They buy all the sugar they can get for the $5.
Right.
No good.
Yeah.
That's a precursor to alcohol and drugs later in their life, and that later is coming fast.
Wow.
Because time goes by so fast. So we don't need that. We can prevent it. We can put teeth in prevention. We could take care of our kids a lot better. We could teach them by example a lot better. We could say, maybe the alcohol's not a good idea, especially in front of the kids. Things like that, simple stuff. So eliminate the sugar, eliminate a huge caveat, a huge potential source of trouble. Simple as that. Take care of yourself.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. So with that, I think we will wrap up this episode of the Soundview podcast. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And we'll have Craig back at a future date to talk more about this. And, be good to yourself and take time out to really read the label when you go through the supermarket. So see you next time.
Thank you, John.